Well, to kick off the show tonight, a returning guest, a man who's certainly a legend in his own time and mind, and a man who's always got something to say. Chuck Goldstone, humorist, writer, what else are you? Consultant to the stars, whatever else we want to coin you tonight, right?
Ubermensch.
Uber's a funny word.
I attach the word now Uber to almost everything. It has become my favorite word.
Well, how are you?
I am fine. It's been a while. I think last time I was here was, 1968?
No, I believe you were here after the Nixon administration was out of office, but not too much further than that. No, you look wonderful. You look very well rested, and we have a lot of little things to catch up on with you.
Well, typically, as has been our custom, we don't really chat much about what we're going to talk about, and it becomes, and I've described this as it's one of the few places in my life that I enjoy coming totally unprepared, and it's and there's a kind of thrill. It's like, as I described, it's cerebral bungee jumping. Mm-hmm. I have no idea where we're going to go.
Luckily, I'm a trained expert, so you're safe at all times. But
I guess the only thing about bungee jumping is you really should measure that your bungee should be just slightly shorter than the drop.
Would you do that? Would you take that risk?
No. I mean, they're clearly some things I would love to do. I would love to, if I ever go to Sydney, Australia, I would love to do the bridge climb, which I don't know if you're aware of it, but you can actually, it's a tour. They put you in little jumpsuits. You put your little clipping, what are those called? Those little clipping devices.
Clipping device.
They're called clipping. The mountaineers call it. I think many mountaineers have lost their lives because they say, hey, hand me one of those things, that thing. Not that one. But no, and then you climb to the top of this 400-foot. I would do that, even though I would be really quite nervous because I'm not a big fan of heights.
What about out in Vegas? You can take pretty much a nosedive off of one of the tallest buildings on sort of a bungee thing, and it's like the Tower of Terror type ride.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
If they plied me with lots and lots of complimentary Las Vegas alcohol, perhaps
okay. They probably would.
But I would not. No, I'm not a big risk taker. I'll bicycle as long as it's not in traffic, but I have friends who are major bicycle. I have a friend who does something called a century. Do you know what a century is?
No.
It's 100 miles. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I thought a century is? The amount of time it would take me to ride 100 miles. But at any rate, that's...
What Chuck Goldstone is here for the hour. Bucket list. Have you
no, because I do not want to think about my own death.
Okay.
So no.
Well, let's not call it that. Let's call it things you'd like to do currently, things that you haven't done yet. We just started talking about some of the riskier things, but maybe there are non-risky things.
There are plenty of those, and napping. Napping is high on my
yes.
on my bucket list.
Yeah.
But no, it's sort of been an interesting. I celebrated a birthday. We're not going to discuss which one because I've stopped counting. When you're 8, birthdays are really fun. When you're no longer 8, and when you're at a point of your life when you want a pony, as opposed to the depressing part of your life where you want to be trampled by ponies, I think it's a very different birthday experience.
Yeah.
But
did you happen to see that online video that's gone viral of the little boy? I think a little boy trying to hit the piñata, and then he ends up hugging the little piñata because he can't get the candy out. It was adorable.
But that's probably the only piñata video that doesn't end with the father being smacked in a place where
yes.
dads do not want to be smacked.
Yeah, did you ever notice that? They always
why don't they just rename that video program, Get Smacked in Your Parts? Because that's really what
America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah,
but,
yeah.
What else has happened? And you know what I noticed? I was watching I was watching television, and I saw a spot, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I just found it hysterically funny that it was it was for medication. And they always talk about the side effects, but it was not a medication for humans. It was a medication for dogs. And then they went on with a list of side effects. And immediately my mind is going, your dog may vomit. And I'm thinking, your dog may vomit. It'll refuse to chase cars. It'll, if fetching a ball lasts for longer than 6 hours, call your.
Well, that's interesting. I suppose legally they have to.
I guess they have
do what they do for humans. Why not?
Yeah.
What was the product supposed to do?
I don't know. Restless
fleas or
four-leg syndrome.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. It was excessive.
Are you the last? By the way, are you the last guy on earth to watch a television commercial? Most people are DVR flippers, as I am. I haven't seen a TV commercial in months.
I don't pay much attention to the regular stuff on TV, so if it's a commercial, I can't even tell the difference. No, I multitask anyway, so chances are my laptop is somewhere near, and I look away and do that or defrost the refrigerator.
Do you find, again, Chuck Goldstone is here for the hour. Do you find that when you're watching something on the computer and you want to see the latest video or news, that you're driving yourself crazy because of the commercials online? Because you can't fast forward through those.
They get me a little more upset than almost anything.
Yeah.
I don't want, because I'm trying to smack some, and then there's nothing else I can do. At least if I'm watching a spot on television, I can look away to the computer. If I'm on my computer, what can I do?
You're stuck. You've no choice.
And it's no, I'm not a big fan of that. But I guess their philosophy is we're providing this to you for free.
Yes, my friends, and you're going to sit there and take a look at what we have to sell.
Speaking of dogs, I saw something that I don't know why I think about these things, and I'm trying to get some help. But I saw they have the FedEx, which I have used for years and frankly really like, but their home delivery is the cutest. They're little tiny trucks now, and they have a picture, a cartoon on the side, and it's very cute. But then I thought about the deeper meaning here. It's a home delivery, and it's a picture of this cartoon dog with a package in its mouth. Now, if you're expecting something really important, first of all, do you want it delivered by a dog? I mean, do you want a package that has? I had a Labrador Retriever. I don't want to. Oh, isn't that nice? I'll sign for this. There's teeth marks in it, and it's covered in dog slobber.
I've got chocolate-covered cherries coming from Paris. Oh, well, wonderful.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
So that's an interesting question. Why would they do that?
That was. What else are you going to put on the side of the truck?
Well, speaking of FedEx, you know, of course, about the logo. It's one of the great logos of all time.
We've talked about that.
Have we talked about that?
Yeah,
okay.
The little arrow, I think, is.
It's
now I can't look at that without thinking about the arrow.